Well, hello. Welcome to week 4 for Speech 203. This week marks the midpoint of the class, and this is where you're going to get down and dirty and really start working on your major speech. By working on that, I mean you're going to start doing the research, and then you're going to give a speech this week sort of describing the research process. Now, one of the things I'm required to teach you at Trine University is how to use a college library. All right, and of course, because it's an internet class, we're going to use the internet version of the college library. It's very straightforward. I've given you complete instructions with that. If you'll click on the, you'll go to your learning document, your learning module for week 4, you'll see exactly how to get into the library. I've got 2 tutorials there that you click on, and they'll take you directly where you need to go. Now, I want you to use what are called databases, and if you're not familiar with databases, they're different than Google. Okay, they're still search engines, but they're searching for proprietary information. Okay, they're searching copyrighted information only, information that has been what's called peer-reviewed, looked at by other experts in the field to make sure this information is authentic. That's what a library tries to do. A library tries to collect authentic information for you. All right, now nothing wrong with Google. I love Google. I use Google all the time, but Google is not reliable in the sense that anybody, anywhere in the world can put up any kind of web page they want, and Google will find it. So they can tell you all kinds of lies, be very convincing. There are all kinds of scientific hoaxes, anthropological hoaxes, historical hoaxes on the internet. Who knows why people spend the time doing that, but they do, unfortunately. So there's a lot of bogus information that Google will inadvertently find, whereas when you work through the library, it directs you to authentic sources. So that's why we use library databases for our research. Now, as I pointed out many times, a good speech, and particularly in this class where we're doing it all over the internet, in order for you to be comfortable and calm in front of an audience, you have to be totally on top of your topic. Okay, you have to know the topic inside and out, you have to know the background, you have to know the details, you have to have all the evidence at your command, and then you'll be comfortable. If you're the master of your topic, you're going to be the master of your speech. All right. So I want you to spend this week, please read the textbook chapters. As I say over and over, it's a brilliant textbook. It's one of the best I've ever seen. There's just 2 chapters. I've also provided 2 PowerPoints that kind of give you a chapter reading guide. They're kind of an outline for the chapter. Take a look at those. Then you have to look at the library tutorials in order to do this project well. That's item 5C of your learning module this week. Then I have the usual number of discussion postings, please. By the way, please go back and do look at my comments on your discussions. I don't get to them to kind of usually the first of the following week, but go back and look. And then I would like it if you look at each other's comments, particularly on the speech, on the topic, that kind of thing. I'm trying to get some peer interaction just so that you can help each other with your topics and help each other with some of the speaking issues, that kind of a thing. I want you to sense that there's an audience out there besides just me. It's very important that you understand an audience consists of your peers, all right, not just your instructor. So please go back and look at the other posts, and I'll be checking on that too. So basically this week you're going to give a speech, and you're going to submit it 2 places as usual, once to the discussion for peer review, and then once to the assignment link that comes directly to me so I can grade it privately, all right? Basically, I just want you to talk through your research process. This doesn't need to feel like a formal speech. Just pretend this is a dialogue with the class. Just pretend you're getting up front of the class and saying, sitting on the desk there in front of the class, getting casual and say, well, hey class, here's what I'm thinking this week, and here's what I've been looking at, and you might thumb through your notes, and here's an interesting article I found, and here's another interesting article I found. So try to spend about 4 minutes just talking to us about the research process. What are you thinking about your topic? What are you finding that's interesting about your topic? This doesn't have to be an organized speech. You're not trying to have a brilliant introduction and a brilliant conclusion. It's just a narration. I'm just trying to get you comfortable with speaking, and also I'm trying to make sure that you're starting the research and doing a good job delving into the research to make sure you have a really authentic speech with lots of content, lots of authentic content that you're the master of, that this speech isn't just a series of your own personal opinions. Don't forget, have I said this before? Nobody cares about your opinions. I'm sorry about that, but we don't care, all right? Opinions are a dime a dozen. What counts are supported opinions, what I call authentic opinions, where you base your opinion on a concrete set of facts, a concrete array of expert testimony, expert witnesses, that kinds of things, okay? As you go to the source to get the actual material. You don't just talk about the conventional wisdom or what you heard from somebody else or what Rush Limbaugh said, right? Okay, we do authentic research in college classes. We look for the material that supports our position in a very authentic fashion. And that's why we started this chapter with talking about, this whole class talking about ethics, those kinds of issues. So I don't want to ramble on. I appreciate the way you get into the discussions and looking at these weekly videos, so keep that up, please.